Welcome, welcome, welcome to the third show. I am Smitty, one of three hosts that you are well aware of. Tonight is the good brother Shannon, and also along our third sidekick, but not the third wheel, is the good brother Troy. They're both at their respective honeycomb hideouts. Shannon has been on Zoom calls all day, so his eyes may look a little fatigued once he does join us, but I guarantee you he will join us. Tonight, as you well know how our show goes, the third show, we get a candidate or someone influential from around the town, the city, that could shed some light where we can ask some great questions. And then they have 3 minutes to respond to each of the questions. And then after the 3 questions, they get 3 minutes to basically sell themselves or say whatever they want to, as long as it's nothing after dark that we have to blur out. So, and that laugh you hear is coming from the gentleman who will be sitting in the hot seat tonight, and that is Mr. David Amar, running for Travis Unified School District. Outstanding man.
Thank you.
Great backstory. Dave, we all three of us owe you a great big appreciation, round of applause, and a kudos for stepping up at the last minute after our scheduled guest had some things to come up and couldn't make tonight's show. So, ladies and gentlemen, please extend a great big welcome to Mr. Dave Amar for stepping in and basically doing this on the fly. He doesn't even know about the show, so
it's my
Dave,
pleasure.
We're gonna go easy on you, my man. We're gonna
no,
go
listen, no.
Right.
You do you. I love that. Go for it. Thank you.
Outstanding. So, couple quick things, keeping notes. Again, you can find us Undivided on our Facebook page, Undivided also on YouTube. And then each one of us you can find individually on Facebook and other social media platforms. And then, of course, this is our third show. So here we go into Mr. Amar's quick bio. So as a point of clarification, I asked Mr. Dave to send in a brief bio. Again, the show is only, less than 15 minutes. And to Dave's credit, I don't know how much time Dave has, but he sent me basically the resume of his entire life from birth up until maybe 2 o'clock this afternoon. So I'm gonna try to shrink it the best I can.
Please do.
So, Mr. Amar, born and raised mainly in North Africa, which I think is incredible, Middle East and the Mediterranean basin up to around his formative years of 12, 13 years old. Right. Then he followed his parents here to the States. Went to Marquette. Shout out. I don't know what they're, Marquette Warriors or Marquette.
Well, they were Marquette Warriors, but now they've changed it to Golden Eagles because Warriors was offensive.
Understood. Well, either way, it's power on Marquette. That's up in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I'm going to let Dave expand on the yearbook cover. Dave went on to start a couple multi-businesses. One, I love the name. It's called SIP Group, Session Initiation Protocols. I just like SIP. It reminds me of drinking. But anyway, Dave is the father of 4. 3 are at Vanden. 1 is at Golden West. He currently serves as District 18 parliamentarian for California PTA. And like I said, he is a candidate trustee for Travis Unified School District. Did that cover mostly everything I tried to summarize, Dave?
Yes, indeed.
Very good.
We skipped over the liquor, but that's fine.
No, children aren't in bed yet. There
you go.
There we go. Let's get on with the show. Up first with his question, falling in line. I hope his palate is ready. Mr. Troy, Finley Sr., you're up, sir.
Hold on, wait. Weren't you going to ask a question?
You got the first question, bro. Then I got the second question.
How did that happen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go.
All right.
All right. Okay, Mr. Finley, I'm ready.
So with running for Travis School District, and And you're supposed to, actually, I told Christine that you wouldn't give her a shout out today. So make sure that you do in your end somehow.
Hey, listen, it's easy for me to give a shout out to Christina because Christina has really brought to the forefront the importance of safety both in and out of the classroom.
Yes.
And she's absolutely correct. We need to focus on that. So that's my shout out to Christina, and it is a heartfelt shout out.
Go. Get on it. That's my daughter. That's my daughter. That's one of my veins of my existence. So I know what you're going through with 4. Say hi.
Hey, we do live stuff here. We do live stuff. So you may see family members. You may see pets. You may hear a helicopter in the background. I own a helicopter company.
So my question is, just to get to that, so my question is, with you wanting to run, with you deciding to run, what did you see was wrong with the school district?
That's an excellent question. And I'll tell you, frankly, I never intended to run. I hate politics. I'm not even registered to Democrat, Republican. I'm actually a no party preference. How all this got started was really because my wife could not attend the school board meeting that was going to discuss the COVID situation. So she asked me, said, honey, would you mind, it's just a Zoom call. I said, sure, no problem. No, I mean, really, I'm telling you, I'm always straight up honest. So I logged in, I read the rules and it said, oh, you have to log in by 4:30. So I logged in at 4:30 and she gave me her 3 questions to ask that were all about COVID. And I waited patiently. I put in my questions and I waited. 4:30, 4:45, 5, 5:15, 5:30. Meeting supposed to start at 6. It's not starting at 6. Finally at 6:30 they log on. No apologies, nothing. But in between 4:30 and 6:30, I started poking around, right? Started reading board minutes, started reading what the Brown Act was. So, because I had 2 hours to waste. I'm not going to sit there and twiddle my thumbs. So finally, it's time for me to ask the questions, which were all about the COVID situation in the schools. And I asked my question and I get no answer. Not only do I not get an answer, but I get logged off and I can't get back into the call. So I thought, okay, maybe, I do a lot of Zoom. I'm like, okay, there's a glitch. So I sent an email. I said, hey guys, please, I got logged off. Could you please tell me what you answered my question? What was the answer to my question? And I get an answer back from Mr. Ivory Hood, the president of the board, during the meeting. And he says to me, oh, we're not allowed to answer you. I said, so I typed back, I said, well, who told you you're not allowed to answer a constituent? And then I get an answer back from Superintendent Conklin, misquoting the Brown Act to me. And the mistake that she made is that she actually cited the code. Now remember, I had 2 hours on my hands. I read the damn code. And I called her on it. I said, no, you're misquoting it to keep people from talking. You literally lied. And I told her, I said, you're lying to your board members. So then I sent an email to all 5 board members, or all 4 board members. And I said, who told you that you're not allowed to answer constituents' questions? Nobody answered.
Oh, wow.
That's when I thought, okay, things are not clean here. All right, I can't see very well. Am I off?
You got 1 minute.
So basically, as I started to look into things, I started to notice, because I am a business, I'm a business investor, right? So I know how to read budgets. And I started to see tremendous anomalies. $300,000 in conferences, $1.6 million on unspecified consulting fees, $1.3 million in professional fees. So that's when I realized something stinks here. And I asked questions and I said, could you please send me verification of how you spent this money? And they refused to give it to me. So I filed the lawsuit under the California Public Relations Act. And then they finally had to disgorge. And that's when I realized they're rotten.
Wow.
And that's how I became involved.
That is probably one of the better answers. That I like that. I was honest. I appreciate it. Thank you for the answer.
You're welcome. It's absolutely the truth.
That is outstanding, and great question to my brother Troy. Great question and a remarkable answer. And I can only encourage folks to take the lead of Dave and get involved, because some things aren't always what they're said. And if you let people dictate their interpretation of things, this is how things get misconstrued and rumors spread, and actual work doesn't get done. So thank you, sir, for that honest answer. My question, sir, is, as the next sitting member, Travis Unified School District, what is the plan? What is the plan for child welfare? I don't want education, because I think everybody wants a great education. What is the plan? What is your plan for child welfare within the district?
Okay, so can you define what you mean when you say child welfare? Is it the emotional welfare, the physical well-being, the emotional?
I'm focusing on physical, which leads to mental, because and forgive us, but I have to give you some in-depth to this question.
Please.
Right before COVID, there was a school board meeting, and a gentleman who was in the military got transferred, so he was bringing his children into the school district. He asked a very simple question. Hey, listen, where I used to live, there was a shooting at my children's school. I want to know how you can assure me that this will not happen here in this district. And he specifically pointed out, he walked around Golden West, and notice you have carte blanche. Anybody can walk on Golden West's campus, as far as Vandens also. Whereas it's a little bit more difficult to get to Center and Scandion, places like that.
The elementary schools are a little bit more,
Right. And so the well-being, our children's physical well-being, what is the plan to confirm to parents that it's taken serious and we're going to do something to address that?
Okay, now thank you for clarifying. So the physical safety of the children begins, first of all, within the school district, within the classroom, within the office, within the building. So that starts with, is it safe for them to go to the bathroom without being jumped? Because that's become a problem in some of our schools, because some people are using the bathrooms for vaping, for clandestine transactions, and they're threatening the children. So what we have to do is we have to, first of all, have in place a system whereby the children can actually place a concern out directly to the board. And I'll tell you why I say to the board. Because what's happening within our district leaders is the children, the teachers, the parents are reporting the problems. And the principals are reporting them up to the district leaders. The district leaders are not telling the board what's happening, because they want to continue to put out this narrative of everything's fine. We don't have a problem. There's no systemic racism here. There's nothing to see here. Everything is great. Give me a raise. See what a great job I'm doing. So we have to establish right now. And in fact, I did tell the students when they interviewed me, I said, there will be an Instagram account that you can use. Take a picture, send it directly to the board. The board will then take it up and say to the superintendent, here is a problem. Put it on the next agenda. You have 30 days to cure and correct this. This is called accountability with consequences. Into now the actual physical safety of the children if there's an intruder that comes on campus. This is something which is very real. Now at Vanden, we have someone there at all times. We have an armed police officer at Vanden. The problem that we have is that they're starting to say we can't afford it. Again, bull. We can afford it, because you're spending $300,000 a year going to DC twice a year for a 4-day conference, taking 8 people with you. This is what our superintendent is doing, staying 4 days at the Hyatt, She's not taking the $250 a month, $250 a night government rate. No, she's taking the $1,200 a night suite. So when I hear we don't have the money, we're going to have to let go of our security, I say, no, you're going to have to tighten your belt. You're going to have to stop using our credit card as your credit card. We have the money. We have $63 million worth of budget. And so far, since we filed the lawsuit and the California Public Records Act, and we finally started to receive information, two parents who are forensic CPAs have actually been helping me go through this whole data dump, and we've identified $2.7 million of waste. So there is money. And so specifically to your question, sir, I want to have armed security at Golden West. I want to have armed security at Vanda. And I would like to reinforce, hard reinforcement of our military schools. Now, two of our elementary schools, two of the schools are on Travis Air Force Base. Extremely safe. There, we're fine. That only leaves 3 schools off base that require security. At most, that means we have to, including benefits, we're looking at roughly $195,000. Are you telling me that the safety and security of our children is not worth $195,000 out of a $63 million budget?
Wow.
So how about instead of going twice to DC, you only go once a year to DC? How about if instead of staying at the Hyatt, you stay at an inexpensive place in Crystal City?
Why do they take 8 people?
Again, that is a question, and that's an excellent question, because in fact, I dug into that conference that they go to. It's called an Impact 8 conference. The only person who is required to go is the chief business officer. Only the chief business officer. What our superintendent does, she goes, she takes this chief business officer, she also takes 2 school board members, and everybody brings a guest.
Wow. Okay, we're gonna stop there because we went a little long, but I had to ask. So we'll end up.
That's okay.
But we do.
Listen, I'm an acquired taste. Okay.
You and Shannon get along fine. Shannon, your question?
Please.
Yeah. Dave, just as you were saying, you're an acquired taste. I like that. So my question, and the way I'm going to phrase it is, because I know the position you're running for.
Mm-hmm.
If you actually get into that position, what will allow you to unify the school district to where it's not just Travis itself, but all of Solano County? Because all of Solano County is impacted. Our school districts are separated and there's no relationship between them. And I feel the only way we can actually get the goal, which is educating our kids, is by working together. What do you plan on doing to try and unite that?
So that, by the way, is a very good question. And I agree with you in that because Travis Unified School District, I'm going to start my timer here so that way I don't make you guys nervous. The way Travis Unified School District came about, it was really a district that is stuck between the Vacaville School District and the Fairfield School District, and it was because of the Greenbelt. And it was there primarily to take care of the military children. So it was basically carved out. But Vacaville has changed. The Travis Unified School District has changed to the point where we now have 21% are military children, 17% are African-American children, 13% are Hispanic, and really it's a minority majority district. So what we have to do is we have to recognize that Travis Unified School District is very much in real danger of being absorbed by either Fairfield or Vacaville, because the green belt in between has basically disappeared. So we have to work with the Solano County Office of Education. However, the way the Solano County Office of Education is currently structured, it only steps in when we are in financial trouble. And guess what? Just as I predicted at the last school board, we are running out of money. We will be cash flow negative starting October 2021. So now, whether we want to or not, we're going to have to work with Solano County Office of Education because they're the first ones who are going to give us a loan to just meet our bills. So how we do this is we begin to reach out right now. And when I say right now, as in like the day we get in, we have to start reaching out to the Vacaville School District. We have to start reaching out to the Fairfield School District. But most importantly, we have to start working with Vacaville city leaders and Fairfield city leaders because we are impacting both of those cities. And they're willing to help. What they're not willing to do is to bankroll a school district that spends money on perks. And I don't blame them. And so what they're saying to us is, hey, we've cleaned up our act. Vacaville School District did clean up their act. I mean, there's room for improvement. There's always room for improvement. But compared to where they were 6-7 years ago and where they are today, they're well on their way to fiscal stability. Fairfield has done a fabulous job of working on the LCAP, has done a fabulous job on working on impacted students. So they're turning to us and saying, you clean up your act and we'll help you. So that's what we need to do. We need to clean up our act, clean up our books, work on taking our children from 39 students to a class back down to 30, as it was back in 2009, when they told us, oh, because of the economic crisis, this is a temporary situation. Allow us to raise it to 39 on a temporary basis. Well, you know, temporary doesn't last 11 years. So that's what we need to do. Clean up our act, reduce our school, and most importantly, work on the achievement gap, because that is crucial. Because our children need to go on. They need to succeed in life. And they can't succeed in life if we don't prepare them. And the problem with Travis Unified School District is that they are so gung-ho on saying 96% of our students graduate from here. But the question that we should ask is, are they prepared? And the answer is resoundingly no. When you talk to the students, they'll tell you, we're not prepared. We have to take remedial math when we go to Solano. We have to take remedial English when we go to Solano. So
Wow.
that's a fact.
Wow.
That is incredible. I'm sorry I fell off. I'm glad to be back.
Yep. And Dave, thank you for that. Dave, thank you for that. And because I work at Solano, I do see these students come over there, and they do.
Yeah.
So
you see it, but you're right there on the ground.
Yeah.
And they're not dumb. They're not dumb.
I can attest to that as well, because my son graduated at 3.7, and maybe like 2 months into his freshman year at college, he was like, "Dad, I was not prepared for this. They did not prepare me for this."
There it is.
So,
there it is.
Shannon, was that your question? I apologize.
Yeah, that was his.
My Chromebook decided to disconnect me from the internet.
No.
Again, this is just real life. Imagine how many times that happened to our students throughout the course of the day when they're trying to get educated. So just keep in mind, people, real things happen. So great answer from what I heard, Mr. Amar. Thank you for that. Now it is your time. You have 3 minutes, sir, to expound on your greatness, sir.
I don't know about greatness, but I can tell you this. To run for school board trustee means that by the very word, it says that you are entrusting me to be your voice. You are entrusting me with your children's best interests. And I take that seriously because I have 4 children in the district. But I can't do it alone. Because it's a school board of 5, I need to bring in 2 other board members with me. And they need to help me activate the vision that we have. So what is this vision? Number 1, it's a vision of fiscal austerity. And when I say fiscal austerity, I don't mean cut the teachers. I'm saying cut the administration. And when I speak about austerity, it's cut the perks and put the money back into the classroom where it belongs, because that's where it belongs, not in giving our superintendent a raise that now gives her more money than the governor of California. Our superintendent today makes more per year than the governor of California and even the commander of the air base of Travis Air Force Base. But it gets even worse than that. She's only obligated to work 221 days a year. And every day above that she works, she bills $1,007 a day to the district. Last year, she billed us an extra $15,000. So the question that we must ask ourselves is, how did this happen? How did this happen? What happened because the school board members that we have today are not doing their job. They only have one employee, one, and that's the superintendent. And what I have been able to research over the past 36 months, Mr. Ivory Hood, the president of the board, has voted with the superintendent exactly 100% of the time. That's not oversight, gentlemen. That's rubber stamp. And that's how we wind up with a school district that routinely ignores the students, routinely silences the parents, routinely silences the teachers. And so basically they've created their own little echo chamber. We're great. Oh, yes, in fact, you're great. Oh, yeah, pat yourself on the back, give yourself a raise. And that's where we are today. So what I'm saying is, if the voters choose me, and I am an acquired taste, because I'm like the uncle who goes, no, 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 I'm going to tell you the truth. But I can't do it alone. I need to do it with people like you. You guys need to show up at the school board meetings. You need to speak up. And when they tell you I can't answer you, you need to say, no, the Brown Act says that you must answer me, because this is an agenda item. And the same way that they tried to silence me and I pushed back and they had to give me the information that I required, the same way they tried to silence Isaiah Carter, who is an elected school board member. And Pam Conklin told him, you can't endorse candidates, it's illegal. And that young man, who I believe is gonna have a bright future in front of him, said to her, please show me where in the bylaws it says that it's illegal. And of course, as usual, she had nothing to say. So what I'm asking is, please, your vote, absolutely. I asked for your vote, I asked for your trust. But what I asked for is, don't just simply vote and then say, okay, we're done, goodbye. No, I'm gonna need you in the battle. I'm gonna need you in the trenches. I'm gonna need you to keep applying pressure at all times, because this particular school, these district leaders, they only respond to pressure, they only respond to lawsuits, and that's how we're gonna get things done. And so that's why I'm asking you is, are you guys willing to help me get people to show up at these board meetings, to ask the tough questions, to hold them accountable, so that they see it's not just David, the pissed off guy from from Vacaville. No, it's David, the pissed off guy from Vacaville, with another 500 parents who are equally pissed off, who are demanding that they do their job. And I'm going to leave you with this. Today, it was announced that Solano County Health Executive is going to announce in the next 24 to 48 hours that we can actually reopen the schools. Great. Everybody wants schools to go back. Now, the school district received $3.17 million from the CARES Act in April, and the money was specifically sequestered for COVID preparations. They haven't done a thing. They were supposed to buy MERV 13 filters, which the CDC requires. Not
you got
done.
30 seconds, Dave. Sorry about that, sir.
No. It's okay. They were supposed to install wash basins in all the classrooms. Not completed. PPE equipment for teachers, students classified. Not yet there. Staggered. The only thing they've achieved is an MOU with the teachers that says we'll do a hybrid model. And then I find out that they've actually spent almost $1 million of that 3.17 on what? Nobody knows. So when I tell you I need your help, I need your help. I need you to amplify my voice to say, he's right. And we're not going to send our children back to school until you do the right thing.
Dave, you're right. How about that? There we go. Sir, thank
Yes,
you
sir.
very much for joining us again at the last minute. I think you did
My
an
pleasure. Thank
outstanding
you.
job. Thank you for being candid in your responses. If only the rest of the world could be so candid, we could probably make a lot more leeway. Ladies and
Thank you.
gentlemen, that is it for the third show today. Again, my good brother Shannon, my good brother Troy, thank you two for participating as well. Remember, you can find us on our Facebook page, Undivided, on our YouTube page, Undivided, where we have a
LinkedIn
collection.
page too, evidently.
What's that?
Oh, so Shannon
Link-
said we have a LinkedIn page.
Oh, we got a LinkedIn page too. We every show, we got so many shows. Like every show, there's something new that pops up. Like, so now we got to pretty soon. Hey, what I do want to say before you go, the Instagram page, Dave, for the district is outstanding. I love that idea. Thank you.
You bet.
So again, we have the third show. We have our InfoCast, which will be next week, next Wednesday. We are still working on our webinar. Please excuse us for that. COVID, fires, just everything, life kind of got in the way. They'll be back up running. Again, you can find us at those local spots. And also, if you missed any of our shows, you can find them. They're on our Facebook page. They're on the YouTube page. So again, thank you guys all for joining us this evening.
Thank you.
Listen to the words my man Dave said. Don't just vote. Follow up and take action after you vote. I think that's
Thank
important.
you.
Until
Absolutely.
next time, everyone, have a great
Thank you.
evening and be well.
Thank you, guys. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak up.